God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. Let me tell you, God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's done good to me. Let me tell you, God has everybody on me. Sometimes He has set God Almighty, I feel so good. God has smiled on me. Oh yeah, good to me. One more time, yeah. Smiled on me. Every day of my life, I feel it. You give me strength and energy. Help me to sing. He's been good to me. Oh, yeah. This is Reverend Al Sharpton of Brooklyn, New York. I've been traveling around the country talking to the radio announcers, the church people, and the street people, telling them that God has smiled on me. God has smiled on you if you got breath in your body. If He woke you up this morning and started you on your way. And I want to tell you some stories of people that God smiled on. We know the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, how he started way back in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, trying just to get dignity, trying to get respect.
Number 28. Do you know what time it is? It's Al Sharpton's time. And for the next 3 hours, it's time to put aside all pretenses, deception, denial, or fronting. The time has come to keep it real on Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. A very good afternoon to you all across the country. Good morning to our West Coast listeners. Welcome to those listening on Sirius XM, Channel 126, the Urban View, where talk empowers and becomes action. I'm coming to you live from our National Action Network corporate headquarters in New York, and we are live today. And you can call in or you can go to the message board and write in. The mayor, Mayor Rodney Jones, mayor of Queensbridge Houses in New York, first one to write in said, "Good afternoon, my shepherd." Well, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. So I'm glad he's plugged in, and many others now going on the message page and that are lining up phone calls. A lot to talk about. It is Exhale Friday. This is not a tape. We were on tape yesterday because we were doing our massive food and meals yesterday at National Action Network on Thanksgiving Day. And we had hundreds of people come. We had also chapters around the country that did it, from New Jersey to Louisiana, and we're proud of all of them. In New York, the State Attorney General Tish James came and helped dish out meals, and Mayor-elect Zoran Mondani was there. He helped give out meals. And Spike Lee, the legendary Oscar winner Spike Lee, was there and gave out meals. And Mark Morial, the National Urban League. I'm glad when we show unity that Mark and them have just opened a big empowerment center on 125th Street in Harlem. But he came and did his Thanksgiving giveaway with National Action Network. And that's the way we all ought to be working together. When they cut the ribbon for the Empowerment Center he just opened, I went and spoke for that. We are, as a community, healthier, better off when we are cooperating, not trying to compete. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Nobody can be you and do what you do anyway. And you can't be and do what somebody else does anyway. So why are you competing? It shows a level of immaturity. Evangelist Shirley Carter Tribble is saying, good afternoon, Reverend Al. Thank you for all you do to help us. Blessings and love. Well, blessings and love to you, and I appreciate that, Evangelist Tribble. I believe in blessings and prayer. I really do. Donna Carter saying blessings, Rev. So, a lot is happening, and I want your calls on this Exhale Friday. Woke up this morning before dawn to go work out and heard that the National Guard member Sarah Beckstorm had died. She was one of the two shot in this attack, and we were said that, look, forget the politics, forget Trump, forget whether we feel that they belonged there or not. People should not be killed for answering the call of duty. And she was killed, Sarah Beckstrom. I believe the other is a male hanging on to his life. And immediately, President Trump says that his reaction is that he's going to close all immigration. He wants to permanently pause immigration and pause migration from poorer nations, and is promising to seek to expel millions of immigrants from the United States by revoking their legal status. I'm reading the quote now. He is blaming immigrants for problems from crime to housing shortages as part of the social dysfunction in America, and demanding reverse migration. His most severe social media post against immigration since returning to the Oval Office. And he's doing this in reaction to these two being shot, and now one died. Trying to say because the assailant, the alleged assailant, came in under the Biden administration. He was vetted under the Biden administration. He was approved under the Trump administration. So let's quit playing games here. This is how he got there. But the question becomes how you're going to have an immigration policy that bars everybody. And do you really mean everybody, or do you just mean, because one quote he said, from third world countries, which is inherently biased. Did we ban people after others were shot? They shot and killed people in this country. They just shot and killed Charlie Kirk. Are we banning similar kinds of people to that assailant? I mean, the reaction needs to be fitting the action. The action was despicable and inexcusable and murderous. But the reaction is not to punish everybody from third world countries. Maybe we need to have a more serious talk about how we vet people. Maybe we need to have a more serious talk about guns. There's a lot that needs to be discussed other than you just going to shut down from third world countries. And then you've got to ask yourself the question, how do you define third world? Is it determined by race? Because do you consider Afghanistan and all through the Middle East, Egypt, all through the Middle East, do you consider all that third world? Well, why would they be third world? Because of the region they in, Saudi Arabia, all of that, the Arab world into Africa is all third world. Well, then do you consider Israel third world? I mean, Trump just sits up at night and just throws stuff on his Truth Social. And everybody has to react because he's the president. But I want to know where the logic is with the illogic I'm hearing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the whole moving of this administration to try and change immigration status. And let's talk about how this administration under Donald Trump has failed to deal with coming up with an alternative health care plan. He promised, announced last Monday, postponed it, and we're getting closer and closer to the deadline, the expiration date. We're at the 28th now, it expires 31st, which means people's premiums are going to go up through the roof. That is something we need to discuss. And I want you to discuss with me, what was your Thanksgiving like? Did you, family and friends, find themselves discussing something relevant? What was your best takeaway from Thanksgiving? Let's talk about all of that and more as we circle down. I know a lot of us are not buying stuff on Black Friday. Many of us are saying go to Black-owned businesses. Some say don't shop at all. Whatever you do, make sure it's in your interest and toward your empowerment. All right, let's get ready to take the phone calls. Let's open up the lines at 1-877-532-5797, 1-877-532-5797. Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.
It's been a long time coming, but I know
1968, Dr. Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And it has been the commitment of National Action Network to always, in the month he was killed, to let them know they killed the dreamer.
I have a dream today.
When they came for the dream.
Hello, New Orleans. Let me tell you straight. They did not think we could come and be here tonight. They cut budgets and advertising, but one black man, Rich Newton, has said, I don't care. My families come together every 4th of July weekend, and Essence will happen, because that's who we are. Give a big hand to Rich New Dennis for bringing us back. Why do we come? Because the essence of who we are is essential to what made this nation. We built this nation. We made this nation. We created the essential dollars that this nation lives off of. We don't care what bill they pass. We will not back up. We will not back down. We will not give in.
chased out. We don't care who's in the White House. We gonna organize our house by house. We came over the Middle Passage. We survived slavery. We survived Jim Crow. Don't you give up now. Don't you turn back now. Stand up, black man. Stand up, black woman. Reclaim your dignity. Reclaim your place. So we stand with the Black Economic Forum. We stand with Essence Magazine because that's who we are. So don't give in now. Yes, it's some rough days, but we've been through rougher days than this. Yes, Trump is a bad dude, but we beat badder dudes than Trump. So let's party with a purpose, because our rhythm and our music reminds us who we are. Because we can smile through our pain and organize for our gain. Let's stand up and let's celebrate who we are. Thank you, God bless you.
Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take, you will be there. Every step I make, be together. Every step I take.
Thank you so much. I was thinking I was going to prepare a speech, but I can't read those things anymore. Name's Babyface, not Baby Body. But I wanted to, I mean, you made me sound so good with those words. I was like, that was me? I was like, when I look at my life and I think of the music and everything that I've done, I used to say that I don't know where it came from. I don't know where the words come from. I don't know where the music comes from. I don't know how I got here where I am, but that's not true. God got me here. This is and it becomes more clear to me every day that's why I'm here. And I don't even know how I ended up standing here, except for the fact that I ran into Al at the Essence. He was walking in the room, and I said, I got to go say hello. And he said, I want to honor you. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I want to honor you. I said, really? Yep. And here I am standing here, and I can thank you. I always wanted to do this, Michael. I love you too. Sorry. But I think of moments like this, I can't help but just think of how proud my mom would be for me standing here. I have to say that just to be standing here and to be invited by Al Sharpton, and I want you guys to really think about this man who invited me here and how he has been fighting the fight for us all of these years. I don't think we give him enough credit. I don't think we give him enough love. Sometimes you just get used to people and you think, well, that's just Al. No. He's more than that. I want y'all to give him really love. Come on, let's give him. It's very true. Because I can remember times, I'm, 67 years old. I can remember times in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, it's true, I'm 67. And I can remember times in Indianapolis when I was growing up, and there were places before I was 5 years old that I could not go to because I was black. And I remember how civil rights, how that changed everything for me and for my life, and that I'm standing here today because of all of those changes. And I was able to do the kind of music that I do and do everything because those things happened. And so for me to accept an award like this, because I've never gotten an award like this before. And so I really appreciate it, and I'm just so thankful. And I thank my mom for giving me the sense to always be humble with my life, and to never think that it's all about me. And so like I said, I didn't prepare a speech. I always just wanted to speak from my heart, and I'm speaking from my heart. And I want to tell you once again, Al Sharpton, you are a blessing to us all, and I thank you for inviting me for this, and thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and it is Exhale Friday. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your heart. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Or you can go to our message board at nationalactionnetwork.net. Go to live stream, and it's where they are giving messages, and I'm glad about it. I see Lone Bear -1 saying gas prices back up to offset the lower egg price. The same person must own the eggs and gas. Make a lot of sense to me. Let me say by way of announcements that let me first again thank all of you that came out and served all over the country at NAN spots to give seniors and the homeless a meal on Thanksgiving Day. Again, I don't condone what was done to the Native Americans, but it is a cultural holiday in our community. And I also would be interested in knowing some of what y'all discussed you around the country at the dinner table yesterday. Did you get into any of what's going on in the country? What are your relatives saying? What are people saying? Sometimes we talk in a vacuum where we talking to people that already agree with us, already know what's going on. It's good when you have these kind of family gatherings and you're talking to people that may not be in this every day, so you can then get a feel of what is the public being programmed to believe. So share with me some of your chatter on Thanksgiving. I really want to hear it. Let me say by way of announcements, don't forget Politics Nation with Al Sharpton. I'm live tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I really want to deal with this banning all immigrants from third world countries. I want to deal with the Epstein files. I'm going to have some people on from the Senate. I want to deal with the voting rights stuff. Make sure you watch both nights, Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, live. There's no reruns on Politics Nation. I do them all live, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on MS Now, formerly known as MSNBC. But it's MS Now. All of us have changed to the new company. And then in the morning, I'll be at the Saturday Action Rally and giving the part two of my Thanksgiving message. And we're there for the rally to galvanize, get a word and give a word, and then go to put action in. Difference between us and a lot of others is we believe in action. Words mean nothing without action. So if you're in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area, Meet Me or Beat Me to the Saturday Action Rally at the House of Justice in Harlem, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. And you that are not in the New York area, you can watch it live on Impact Television, the only national black-owned gospel TV station network. And of course, you can watch it at nationalactionnetwork.net, 9 to 11 if you're not in the area. Let us go to the phones. It is, as I said, this is Exhale Friday. I'm very interested in what people have to say coming off this holiday, heading into more, this being what people call Black Friday. Spend up your money and end up with the stores in the black and you in the red. Georgia Daniel is saying on our message board, good afternoon, Reverend Sharpton. Thanking God, keeping it real in Toledo, Ohio. All right, let's go to the phones. Let me go to Chief Kamala. Chief Kamala in Chicago. Chief Kamala.
Hi, Reverend Sharpton. This is Pam.
Oh, my
So
activist
you want me?
extraordinaire. All right.
Yes, I'll hold on if you meant to grab someone else.
I don't
I can
know.
hold.
You know, they do the calls out of Dallas. I don't know what they did.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Pam from
Yeah, go
Chicago.
ahead. You go
Yes,
ahead. We got
great to hear you. Uh, Great to hear you. And let me just say, thankful for
I
my
switched the numbers
family.
up.
It's
Sorry.
been a great holiday, and I understand, Reverend Sharpton. It doesn't go uh, unnoticed that this means something different from from the indigenous people,
right.
and so certainly not celebrating what occurred. But as you said, within our families, it is really just about family for us, and so from that perspective, that's what we celebrated. Thankful for family, thankful for the community, and Reverend Sharpton always letting you know that there are people out here hurting. As I went shopping, did some things on Monday and Wednesday, just groceries, just noticing people who could barely afford certain items they wanted to get, particularly elderly people, and so was able to be a blessing to them, Reverend Sharpton, right there at the store. Just saying, hey, let me grab these groceries for you. Let me pay this for it, and let me be a blessing to you because so many people have been a blessing to me. Trying to have people still keep their dignity. Um, while I just wanted to help pay for their groceries, and hopefully, that made just provided them with some relief. So I just wanted to say that. Um, I'm saying Black Friday means to me stay my black butt at home. I am not, that's what Black Friday means to me. Never shopped on Black Friday, Reverend Sharpton. But here's what I'm saying. I'm on the Latasha Brown. I think it's We Ain't Buying Nothing or We Ain't Buying It. I'm not doing any shopping. I guess I think until Tuesday. And if I do, it is with black owned local businesses. And I'm very serious about that. We have to be serious and disciplined with our money and our economy. I'm about economic sanctions. You know that I've called the show before talking about that. These retailers need to know, particularly those who support this administration, that we're not playing with them anymore and that you will feel it, right? So they want to have a Black Friday. No, let's make it red as possible, and that's what I'm looking to do. Reverend Johnson, let me thank you for keeping the Epstein file at hand so that people will know that Epstein is still, he's dead, but his sex ring that's fueled by millionaires and billionaires, that still exists. And let me just ask this, Reverend Sharpton. We need those millionaires and billionaires who didn't participate with Epstein and who didn't know about the sex ring. This is the time for them to step up and call their peers to the carpet. I mean, we need, I'm black millionaires, billionaires, white, Asian, Jewish, I don't care. you know that this is an issue.
Right.
That this, they know the participants. So it seems to me, if I'm a black billionaire, I'm standing up at a press conference and I'm gonna say I didn't know about Epstein, and those who did should come forward, and we need to expose this. So that's one portion. And so, and lastly, I'm going to end on this, Reverend Sharpton. When you talk about the third world countries, we need to ask, why are they third world? And usually it's because countries, so-called the world leaders and the powers that be, have taken the resources, financial, the minerals, as well as the human resources from these countries. And particularly, we know what they did to the continent of Africa. So their third world, ask why. And so I know a new terminology that they use are developing countries. So we need to know the history of U.S., Russia, Israel, all of them, the European countries that played a part in destroying some of these countries.
That's
So thank
exactly
you,
right.
Reverend Johnson,
No, you hit it
for
right on the
bringing that
head.
out.
As always, you had the keen observation. Let's take a break. Keeping it real. Exhale Friday. Sharpton. Be right back.
We have a short visit today. So we just wanted to greet you all and thank you for allowing us in. Yes, sir. We would go,
We was here.
They were on the plantation. with my
Our
grandmother.
family was on the plantation.
Wow.
And that's, of course, that's the slave house. That's one of the slave houses. Sir, it's been 13 years.
That's right.
Good to
How
see
you
you.
been?
Doing fine.
Last time. And we,
Alexander Sharpton. How many slaves were staying there?
I have no idea.
This is where they would have a slave. Right?
Yeah, that's what, exactly. That was, exactly. The two people that most influenced my life were from South Carolina, James and Jesse. Jesse right up the road from me. I went over his mother's funeral. Jesse walked me to my mother's casket. From South Carolina. That's the balance of my life, James and Jesse.
Yeah.
Civil rights, shoulders.
But also where your people from too.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And when I knew Jesse was from James, I started Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And James had died before I knew about him in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James died December 25th. He died Christmas Day, 06. And they came to do the story for February of 07. They came in January. His daughter swear that was his daddy and him pushing the information out.
Wow.
And I called Jesse and told him, do you know that my great-grandfather was a slave about 45, because Greenville right up to I-20.
He said, I told you we was connected. That's why you gotta listen to me. But
Rev, you know you were right there
from the beginning.
with the stuff that
Yep.
was going on in Brooklyn at
Yep.
that time, at
Yep.
Howard Beach. You were right there.
He had in one of the early movies, he had my name. Then he put me in Malcolm, but I wasn't even old enough to know Malcolm. So we've been through it all.
For those who see Malcolm X, it's 3 hours. But fast forward to the scene with yourself,
Yep.
Bobby Seale.
Right. Bobby Seale, Denzel, and me.
Yeah.
Denzel was on the set.
Now, let me ask a question.
Yep.
What was your weight on that scene?
I probably about 270. I was bigger then.
Yeah.
Still had the hair.
And you had the head on.
Yeah, it was.
Denzel, yourself, and Bobby Seale.
Yeah, all in one scene.
And also, there was no cut. We went like this.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Only Spike could have done that.
It's my brother right here.
My baby.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn's in the house.
BK. Oh, do I seem excited? I am excited because this Saturday, the National Action Network Saturday Action Rally starts live on WBLS 107.5 FM in New York. We're going to expand. Every Saturday morning, we're live on WBLS 107.5 from 10 a.m. to 11. You'll hear the message. You'll feel the energy. You'll be involved. You won't be sitting around talking about, oh my God, look at what's happening. You'll be involved in dealing with what's happening. I'm excited, and you should be excited to turn on WBLS 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. I have a message for you, and if you want to, you can come to the House of Justice and be there live, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. We kick off at 9, and we don't stop until we deal with getting our people energy. No justice! No justice! No justice! What do we want? What do we want?
We are the sons and the daughters. We gonna stand up and make it loud. Just like our God told the Pharaoh, let my people go, go. We are a new generation from the ones who have come before. He's calling us into freedom, let my people go, go. We're gonna shine and shake. Give me a papa glory, make the heavens. If you don't say you know what trouble, let my people go, go. The blood, sweat, and the tears that we gathered through the years. If you don't say you know what trouble, let my people go, go. Wade in the water, we did wade in the water.
So it's become almost an unhealthy habit how much I'm listening to Keep It Real, because it is the realest thing on the air anywhere, whether it be online or whether it be on the radio or wherever it's coming into you from, because there's no one of Rev's importance and caliber who is as dominant a media figure as he
Keeping
is,
it
who
real,
allows
keeping it real.
people to speak at
I
length.
am your host.
And
This Exhale Friday morning, whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your heart, so much going on. And I want to get to everybody. I see Evangelist Ramsey saying good afternoon on the message board. Reverend Sharpton, you good? I am good. It was such a privilege to have seen you in living color, serving always for the years of people. We need to unite ourselves as one so we won't be defeated by Satan, and realize people may try to hinder you, but God is for you. No devil from hell can stop you. Hallelujah, I'm a witness. Evangelist Ramsey, one of our great actors, she was there yesterday with us. Always on the point. I would love when I see her name pop up. 1-877-532-5797. And of course, as I said, don't forget to join me watching Politics Nation tomorrow. I'll be hosting already lined up some major guests. And then, of course, I'll be at the rally in Harlem in the morning. Now let's go to Chief Kamala in Philadelphia. Chief. I do not hear Chief.
Hello, how you doing, my brother?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. You know, it's Chief Kamara, man. I got a promotion. I'm Manson now, but I wanted to let you know I'm proud of you, brother. You know, I go way back with you. You know, from the '90s, man. I watched you develop and grow. You know, I'm a student of college. We got a bit different philosophy, but I'm proud of the work you're doing. And we talked a couple of days ago, and the guy didn't. Like, we got cut off. But I did hit Fatima. He say on vacation, so that you can get my information. But this FBA and Tariq Nasheed.
You did give it to Fatim?
No, Fatim said he on vacation, ain't none until the 5th, so I gotta wait till the 5th. But somebody can.
All right, but yeah, if you could pick up once he finished talking and get it to me direct, because I want to get, and let me say this and you can finish.
I can on the air. I don't care. I give my number.
No, I don't want to do that. But let me say this. When he says he was with Brother Khalid Muhammad was one of the leaders in the nationalist movement, had been in the nation, formed Black Panther Party, new Black Panther Party. And he and I saw things differently, but we worked together. I defended his right to have a million youth march. He told me come and speak. And if there was a brother, let me tell you why I dealt that. And I disagreed with him on a lot. He disagreed with me on a lot. But if somebody is sincere, I respect their sincerity. There's a lot of people out here in groups that he was with that was never as sincere as him. This man meant what he said. And that was the only reason we could interchange. And I believe he understood that about me. I just wanted to say that so people understand what you're talking about. But go ahead, Chief.
And you got Farrakhan that actually talked to him when he talked.
That's right.
So, but
That's
anyway,
right.
you know, a video I want to send you where in California, that, you know, because of what Tariq Nasheed is doing, he accosted a homeless Caribbean man. You hear how he talk about African people, he makes fun of their food. He talks about them smelling bad. It's terrible. He's, you know, on TikTok and Twitter and YouTube. I don't understand how they allow him to do the type of things he said about African people. And so I talked with Congressman Danny Davis, and he's going to get with Jasmine Crockett. We're going to have a meeting later on during the month in December to discuss a strategy to neutralize it, because some of the people listening to him have gotten violent and actually shot at people, Democrats or Pan-Africans, and it's really terrible. I mean, just the way he talks. I mean, you have to just go and listen, just pull up FBA. One is a college professor, Professor Allen H. He is, you know, talks so bad about Africans. I don't know how you teach our young people talking like that. You hear the things he's saying. It's horrific. He makes, you know, it's terrible, brother. And then he talks about you as well and Democrats, and all he wants to do is, you know, laugh at people. He's not strategizing. He's not putting together anything to help black people in America. So like people can call him like, hey, I'm calling from New York. What are you a tether? Or where you from? You're not Black American. It's like, it's terrible what he's doing. So James Small's on board with us. So I want to get your information so we can meet. We can have a Zoom meeting to strategize, because if you can't say about the LGBT community, you can't talk about Jewish people. We should not allow him to get up there and degrade African or Caribbean people the way he's doing. It's not right, you know.
All right, well, let's get your information. We need to get on that. I was not aware of it. Hold on 1 minute. Just hold on. Dallas, get his information. Send it direct to me. Let's go to Still Bill in Ohio. Still Bill, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
The day of the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving, Reverend.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I'd like to give a shout out to Lincoln Ware, Terrence Howard, and the staff of WBBC The Buzz radio station AM, which I listen to this excellent radio station. Reverend, this call is about props. And you definitely deserve props for doing what you do. You know, your generosity and your humbleness when it comes to aiding and helping the needy, serving Thanksgiving dinner and everything. also to Spike Lee as well. This is one of the many things that enchants me about you, Reverend. The fact that you give back. And that's what I want to do. But my health and everything is pretty much threatening me. I'm dealing with my biggest battle, diabetes. But you know what? I got the Lord behind me.
All right.
Else, why would I be able to talk and be on this radio station? But you know, like I said, I am definitely going to continue to stay involved. I listen to James Brown's records, and one of the records that comes to mind is getting involved, and that's what I'm going to do. And to your daughter, Dominique, I will keep it real. Keep it real. Thank you for
I
the
love it.
opportunity.
Thank you for calling in, Still Bill. I always wait on you to end with that keeping it real. You are absolutely right. Tamara Torres is saying, happy holidays. Remember meeting you with Mr. Armstead, Larry Holmes, National Black from 107 in East Harlem when I was being transitioned to Sheltering Arms in 1992. I aged out of Sheltering Arms in 1999. Happy holidays. Yeah, we've been out here a long time on a lot of issues. I said last week when they came out with the movie that is now in the AMC theaters, Aftershock. It's the story of Sean Bell. Young man went out with his father, some friends, night before he was to get married, got in the car to leave going home and out of a club, and the police said they thought he had a gun, shot at him and his associates 50 times, and shot him 4 times, killed him, and his fiance came to me through Timothy Wright, the Godfather of Gospel, who's since deceased, called me that next morning, and I went out there and got on the case. They did a whole movie with actors. In fact, Richard Lawson, the famed actor, I've been in Dynasty and everything else, plays me in the movie. So I watched it last night. I had gone to the premiere the other night, but I didn't stay to see the movie because I had to do Morning Joe the next morning, and I wanted to get in early enough to go to bed. I try to get into bed by 10 o'clock, get up by 4 o'clock, so I'm in the gym by 5:15. And if I have to go earlier, I'd go to bed earlier and get up 3 o'clock or 3:30. I'm gonna work out before I go to do anything during the day. That's my regimen. And so I didn't watch it, but I watched it last night after coming back from defeating, and it brings back the struggle that we've had to have. The Sean Bell case was in 2006, 19 years ago, and we're still dealing with these policing issues. And they still are calling people like me anti-police and controversial. And Trump has tried to bring us all the way backwards in these kinds of things. And I think that it is important that we, yes, have entertainment. There's a balance you need in entertainment in your life, but you also, at all cost, need to inform your children, your grandchildren, your family members about history. History. I was talking to a guy about a week ago who was saying that he had stumbled up on the documentary they did on me 3 years ago, Loudmouth. He said he did not know that I was out here since the 70s. And I said, yeah, I started when I was really 12 at the end of the 68, 69, became youth director in 69 to Operation Breadbasket. He said, I always just thought you were doing it for publicity and opportunism. I said, well, then you'd have to ask yourself, I started at 12 and I got known in my 20s, then why did I do it the first 10 years? And I use me as an example. We love to question other people's motives and other people's in our minds, ulterior motives as an excuse for us not doing nothing. Oh, they just want publicity. Well, they can get publicity a lot of ways other than risking their life and fighting the system. Or they just want money. Well, ain't nobody financed us. We had to raise our money. I don't get any federal, state, or city money till now. Oh, they're going to dig up stuff. Oh, yeah, they're going to dig up lies. They done put all kind of lies out on me. And those that just believe lies, just traffic lies. I don't even respond to them anymore. But if you know deep in your heart that you should be standing up on things because this could be your child, your grandchild, nobody can intimidate you into not dealing with these issues. They come whatever they want, and whatever they want to do is fine with me. I think you and I need to keep our eye on the prize. Let idiots be idiots, and they're going to do idiotic things and say idiotic things. Pray for them and keep going. Let's take a break. It's Exhale Friday, 1-877-532-5797, 1-877-532-5797. Sharpton, keeping it real. Be right back.
Joining James Brown, Muhammad Ali, and myself now from New York City is the Reverend Al Sharpton. And Mr. Brown, James, I'd like to ask you about this young man, how you came to meet him, and what the National Youth Movement, which he represents, is all about. Tell me something about that.
It's about teaching young kids the right way to go, and the things to be involved in education. Don't be a dropout, which is one thing I'm very much behind. Unless kids have guidance, they have no place to go. And the idea is to try to mold them. I mean, we think of anything, we think of it as a baby. And what we mold them to be is what it will be later on. He used to stand at my back door, and he believed in what I said, the Don't Be a Dropout program, and the fact of helping kids and giving them the right idol and the right image to go with, cleaning, grooming, and wanting to work, wanting to be something. I started as a kid, a juvenile delinquent, and everything. Had no model. And I was able to be a model for a young man like this. And what he turned out to be, he's a minister, and he preaches the right thing, and I'm for him 1,000%. I'm for everything he's about.
Mr. Sharpton, how national right now is the National Youth Movement? Is it something new? Has it been going on for a while? Do you have a stated number of members? Tell me something about it.
Well, we don't really get into a numbers game because that's been a trick that has been played for the last 20 years. What we're basically interested in doing is saying to young people of impoverished backgrounds that there are people like a Muhammad Ali and a James Brown that represents hope to us. Because these people, despite all of the social odds, despite the unemployment statistics, despite the lack of education in their day, were able to grow and be something that we can be proud of. A man like me didn't have a father at home, but I had a James Brown to look up to and would want to sing and dance like him, or Muhammad Ali, who I saw stand up and give away millions of dollars of stamps to the government so that I would have a right to come 10 or 20 years later and try to fight for my kids. So what we're saying is there are symbols and images that kids can look up to and not have to throw a brick through a window, but that can work by the sweat of their brow and succeed just like these two gentlemen did.
But considering the numbers of young kids today, and Rev, there are hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of kids who really are in hopeless and desperate situations, is it enough to just offer them an example?
You say hopeless, though. Not hopeless.
Well, let's say, to them, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids,
it's never hopeless. There's no such thing as hopeless. It's never hopeless. When I got 8 to 16 years for breaking and entering as a kid, because I was hungry, and here I am today, it's not hopeless. Don't say hopeless. Then we're carving out. I don't believe in hopeless. Don't you think it's hope? If you believe in something, it's right. No such hopeless. I don't believe in hopeless. We're not going to go with that. And I think he's not about teaching them how to get out and fight for themselves. That's what it's about. No, it's not hopeless. Everybody has a cause and everything, but everybody want to live. And I think living is what we're about. We're not going to teach dying. Hopeless is dying.
I agree with you 100%, James. But what I'm trying to ask here is simply saying you too can be a James Brown or a Muhammad Ali. Is that enough to give a kid who's hungry, who doesn't know where his next meal is coming?
I'll say it.
Give him somewhere to go.
I think it's awful weak to tell a kid you can be a James Brown, one of the greatest entertainers in the world, and me, one of the greatest fighters. And like you said, the hundreds of thousands of millions of kids that need a break. You can't have that many great people. but they can get educated. They can go to school. They can learn.
Mhm.
I'd like to say one thing. We have crime today. It's a big problem. I think they took a national vote on what the people want the government to spend most of the money on, and crime was over national defense. Worrying about Russia, China, outside enemies, they're worrying about inside crime. We have crime today, all type prostitution, murder, exploitation, degradation, and wars of all kinds. And I'm going to tell you why everything's happening. And I think if you're intelligent, you agree with it. If we were riding an airplane and the two pilots died for some reason, is there anybody in this room that can go in the cockpit, pick up the radio, start working it, bring the plane in, depressurize it as it land, and make it, and late at night on a stormy day? You couldn't do it.
Right.
Well, but if you learn how to fly, or if they show you how to fly, you can. Since God made the world and God made us, He sent the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, sent Moses, Jesus, Noah, to show us how to run the world. And God left His laws. If we don't follow His laws, then we crash.
Let me say this, though, Mr. Snyder, in response to your question to Mr. Brown, Mr. Ali. Yes, it is enough to begin with showing them an example, because before you get to education, you need motivation. If you don't have motivation to get out of the bed, you won't make school or the party. And what we try to do by showing a James Brown or Muhammad Ali is not that you can be a great champion maybe like Ali or a great entertainer like James Brown, but if you use the same initiative that they did to make him get up 5 in the morning and run 10 miles and just have a dream and to come back 3 times and accomplish that dream, to have more hits than anybody in the world, even when the music world wouldn't give him credit for it in terms of a James Brown. If you had that initiative to keep working at whatever it is that you're going to do, you can succeed. And what we're saying to them is you may not reach the plateau of public prominence of them, but if you can reach the personal discipline and personal motivation of them, you can reach a plateau in your life. Because it's not about looking for a government handout, it's about looking for a way out, as James Brown said.
All right, and then how receptive are the young people that you tell this to?
Very receptive.
Really?
Very receptive. Very receptive. I think that people have misunderstood that most people of impoverished and depressed areas are not looking for the government to give them something. They just want a chance. I remember when I was a little boy, James Brown used to sing, I don't want nobody to give me nothing, just open the door, I'll get it myself. Well, that's all people want now is a chance. Let me get a piece of the action. Let me get a piece of the pie. Let me stand up on my own.
All right. At one
man should have the major corporations, the government, should get behind him and push the programs that he's about.
Except maybe if he does it himself and gets grassroots support, it's better than having the government stick their nose in, because they have a way sometimes.
We're not talking about control.
Yeah.
We're not talking about control. We're talking about a way of start. You know, they have to start. If they fund Chrysler and fund all these different other things, they can fund a small man to get started. Then the private sector will join in, but let them help too. It should be.
Last thing. Somewhere along the line here tonight, we used a graphic saying long, hot summer. Are you in any way, I'm certain you're not predicting a long, hot summer. You're not predicting urban strife. You're not predicting disorder, anything like that.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know, at home you have an oven. There are flames on top of the oven, and then there's heat in the oven. We always discuss whether there'll be a flame on the top, and don't discuss it. It's already 600 degrees inside. I'm not concerned as much about a long, hot summer because it's been a long, hot winter. Yeah. People are unemployed.
Okay.
People are unemployed. People are getting their homes ripped off. Parents' pocketbooks being snatched. As Ali said, crime is at a highest rate it's ever been. So rather than us running around the streets looking for a brick, we should be looking at the fact the brick is already in most people's houses. How do we get the brick out of the house? How do we cool the long oven out? Let's not wait for the explosion and then just cut the flames off upstairs. Let's put the flame out inside. And the only way to do that is everybody to get up and work by the sweat of their brow in America and try to produce, be productive like these two gentlemen have been in their life against all odds. They came up in a world that was alien to them, and they made it. And we can make it if we have the same initiative they did.
Mr. Sharpton, it's been a pleasure to have you here tonight, and I've enjoyed meeting you very much.
Thank
you
you
for coming
much.
by, and thank you, James Brown, for being with us again. Kent, thank you for being here tonight.
Church, I want to present to you a man of God, a man of his community, the Reverend Howard Hundley.
Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Let's go back to the phone. Attorney Jennifer Jones Austin is. Every day, Monday through Friday, I do 3 hours a day on Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. I do 1 hour on Sunday mornings with Reverend Al Sharpton. And I'm live on radio and TV with the Saturday Action Rally. 7 days a week, I talk to our people, hear from them, to call in. I'm sick and tired of people talking for people that they don't talk to. So go on www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Listen to my show, call in, express your opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But let's start talking to each other. I am your host. Rather than about each other. Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. And this is Exhale Friday, and we're taking your calls and your messages on the message board. I want you to tell me how you spent your Thanksgiving, and I want you to tell me how you react to President Trump now saying he's going to stop all immigration from third world countries, in other words, non-white countries, as well as whatever else is on your mind, in your heart. Let me remind you that it is us that determines what we do and don't do that will determine what they do and don't do for us. Let me bring in, I have in the office today my senior advisor in National Action Network, works in the community. He has also does a lot of political consulting, but has been with us since he was 12 years old, Reverend Stephen Marshall. Reverend Marshall, thank you for being with us. You was with us yesterday at the House of Justice, as you've been many Thanksgivings. How long you been with us on Thanksgiving?
I go back at least, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I want to say at least 20 years of coming to the House of Justice to serve the community.
Now, what is the most meaningful thing that you see at these gatherings? What makes you, you're on staff, been on for many years, but you could take Thanksgiving off. What is it that motivates you and that you have as a main takeaway from the Thanksgiving giveaway?
Well, Rev, I have to tell you, it's two things. One, out of all the years we've been doing this, I think the last 5 or 6 years we've really seen people that really need to be around community, around family, and they need food. Food insecurity is a very serious thing. The other thing is that throughout New York City, other than Thanksgiving, we see food pantry lines that are long, blocks long, and what we do at NAN is not only necessary, but it is a lifeline to the community in which we say we serve. And so that is my driving force, that we're actually doing something that's needed, that people show up in the cold online to get a hot meal. I think it's one of the most rewarding things that we can do all year.
We wake up this morning and Donald Trump has used the fact that one of the two National Guards people that was killed, one was killed, Sarah Beckstrom in Washington. That's as deplorable, unjustifiable. Whether we agree with policies of National Guard or not, no one should be killed, particularly those serving the country. And we can criticize their superiors, but fight and stand for their rights as members of the military. But he has now said he's going to ban all immigration from third world countries. Sounds biased to me. How do you respond to that? You deal with a lot of elected officials. You help with a lot of campaigns in your private business. The politics of that is just, to me, alarming.
I think it's really consistent on how he has marginalized black and brown countries from the inception of his original campaign, calling places like Haiti and other places S-hole countries. This is not surprising. I also think it has a lot to do with he's taken several losses over the last couple of weeks as it relates to his forcing allegedly to prosecute New York State Attorney General Tish James and James Comey. So I think a lot of this is a reaction to something that he can do immediately to sort of, get our focus off of what's happening. We have a major case in the Supreme Court around voting rights. He doesn't know where that's going to go. So I think this is partially the continuity of his tactics around black and brown countries, and also he has taken some hits, around his Department of Justice in the last few weeks.
Let me go to the phones. I see David from Washington, D.C. David, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton and Reverend Stephen Marshall.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good, thank you.
I'm doing good too. I'm calling because I'm here because I am. So first off, I called in about a few months ago. I talked about my older sister who's African American, and I talked about all the stuff she went through growing up. And I'm calling because I showed her the clip of me calling in and telling you all about my sister, and she was happy. And like I said, when I called in, I brought that me and my sister had got into like a fight and stuff, and we separated ourselves. And when I showed her the clip, I told her I did it because I loved her and stuff. And we're back together now. I remember when I showed her it, she wanted to cry. We hugged and stuff, and we haven't been happy ever since. And we've been like really happy and stuff that we're together again. We're talking again. And I called just to say that I think that without you, Reverend, that would have never happened. I just wanted to call and say I'm very thankful that you.
So you and your sister are back together?
Yes, we are.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for calling back and give us that report. That's great. That is great. Let me, family time and family healing is a challenge in many of our communities, Reverend Marshall. How important is it that we try to teach people reconciliation and try to practice it ourselves? I mean, I came out of a traumatic childhood in my family. It took a while, but I realized that there's a reason why we were all family in the first place. That was God's decision. We need to make out a way to make it work.
I agree. I think the latter part of what you said is actually what we need to do. We need to show reconciliation and forgiveness in our own actions publicly. A lot of times we get into spats and fights, whether it be public and or in our personal families, but we don't apologize, we don't forgive, we don't acknowledge as much public as we should. Me and myself and you and a lot of people in our organization are ministers and people of faith, and no matter what religion you may come from, I'm quite sure part of the foundation of your faith is to forgive, to reconcile, as Jesus or whatever higher power you believe in has forgiven us over and over again. So I think we have to manage that publicly better so we can inspire others to do so.
1-877-532-5797. Let's go to Michael in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon to you, Reverend. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving back at you.
I appreciate that. Hey, I got a good question there. I live in Erie, Pennsylvania. I wouldn't mind traveling to Manhattan, to wherever you are. We had a situation here. I was spoke about 2 weeks ago about Justice for Cello, unarmed man that was killed by his parole officer, the second time ever in United States history. I've been active on the ground, activist for the situation for since July 2nd, and I'm just trying to figure out how the NAN can help get some support from you guys helping out for Justice for Cello. Ben Crump did come to Erie, but we still have not heard anything from the DA since then. We had major protests. I had marches. It's been almost 150 days in 2 days, and she's not being transparent with the family. And I was asking,
what was
your
what
platform.
now? To give me the circumstance again, what happened?
Okay, Marcello Woodard was killed by his parole officer in his car. He was in his car. The Pennsylvania State Police are stating that my cousin dragged the parole officer we had to shoot. We got footage from a ring camera from a girl that was on the block that states that not happening. Since that date, we have not heard anything. This is the second time in United States history, the first time in Pennsylvania history that this ever happened. He was unarmed, no gun, no nothing. And they said that he dragged him down the street, which that did not happen. We got the video footage, and now they've been really tight-lipped around that. Erie, PA is one of those weird cities that it's more of a poverty. The blacks, we don't got much of a voice here. But since that day, we've been standing up, going to city councils. We've been going to county councils. We've been asking for help. I'm taking it to this. I'm going down to protest Josh Shapiro's office here soon. Our governor, we're not getting no answers from her. Only answer we got so far was coming from the Pennsylvania State Police down in Harrisburg. I gave him a call, and he's the one that told us that they had got the case and they're working on it, and then DA sent it back. She has not been transparent. In our mind, she's supposed to be the attorney for the people, correct?
DA is supposed to be that, correct?
She has not spoken out to the family. Even since that day, she didn't call the family. Neither did the Pennsylvania Police call. At least say this to the family. Hi, we're working on this. They didn't say nothing. And I'm looking to travel to you. I don't care what I got to do. I will come wherever you need me to come, sit down with anybody you need me to sit down. I don't care where around the United States. If you can help me on this, if you want to look it up, it's on Facebook. I got the Facebook page called The Justice for Cello. That's CHELLO movement page. That shows almost every
Justice
article.
for Cello movement page. All right.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute. Y'all get his number and get it to me. Let me see if we can work something out to get to look into this case. Thank you for your call. Make sure y'all get it direct to me, Dallas. You know, Reverend Marshall, a lot of people don't understand. Well, let me take the break and come right back. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Be right back. I had a thought this morning that I wanted to share with you about mentorship. I am able to do a lot of what I do because I had great mentors, but there are correct ways and incorrect ways to mentor people, in my opinion. I was mentored as a boy preacher by Bishop F.D. Washington, one of the great Pentecostal preachers of his time. Then Reverend William Jones became my pastor after Bishop Washington died, who was unquestionably in the top 5 black church ministers, theologians. Reverend Jesse Jackson, I started my activism under his leadership, he and Reverend Jones. And I learned politics directly as a youth director from Shirley Chisholm. So even though I didn't finish college, I had the most unique education in the world from being exposed to giants. But the one thing I learned is as I grew older and people started coming younger than me and wanted me to teach and mentor them, the magic of the mentors I had is they did not want me to be their clone. They wanted me to learn things from them and use my own gifts and talent in my own unique way and let me do things on my own, because they knew that if I flopped in some things, it would teach me for the other things. They'll come and help me once I was down, but they were not going to have me avoid being down. And they were not going to impose themselves on me. Why am I saying that? Because too many mentors want clones, and too many mentees want their mentors to put them on a pedestal. Oh, so-and-so didn't do this for me. Oh, so-and-so didn't open doors for me. If they got to open doors for you, it may mean that they knew you weren't ready to go through those doors. Their job is to prepare you. Your job is to develop your own skills, your own unique ways. And I don't care if it's my daughters who both have come into their home or anyone else. I'm not a talent agent. I did not form National Action Network to give people their step up. I formed it to fight for justice for everybody. If talented people get in, it's my job to invest and give them a platform. It's their job to get on the platform and perform and show their ability. Sitting with me today in the office as I talk about it is one of my mentees, Reverend Stephen Marshall. Now, Stephen, you just came around us when you were how old?
11 years old.
11 years old. You just turned 40 and now you're called to the ministry?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do in National Action Network?
I formulate policies, lead in various regions, but most importantly, I senior advise the youth on all things from social justice strategies, politics, intergovernmental affairs, you name it, community organizing, all of that stuff.
And I could go through scores of others. My daughter started Huddle. They got Huddles now, which is for young people to meet once a week all over the country. I just saw the video from the Las Vegas National Action Network chapter. Now, when you decided to preach, did I ever tell you to become a preacher?
Not one time.
Who called you to preach?
The Lord.
All right. And did I say go to this school or that school?
No, sir.
Did I open this door, that door? Did I tell you be ready when the doors open?
Always be ready and prepared.
And that's what I'm saying. Get you some young people than you that you can help along the way. But don't be their talent agent. Their talent must speak for themselves. And anybody that grumbles with you about so-and-so didn't do something for them, maybe it's because they didn't feel you were ready or that they felt if they did it, you wouldn't do it on your own. But we all don't live forever. I want the next generation to speak of me, of National Action Network, and others. The way I speak of Reverend Jones and Bishop Washington and Shirley Chisholm and Reverend Jackson. But I just don't want young people to feel that somebody ought to give them the reins of leadership or give them the reins of business or whatever it is you're in. You need to learn from their journey, get the pearls of wisdom from them, but don't have them do for you, because then it means you can't do it for yourself.
So who is Al Sharpton anyway? Who is this 33-year-old preacher without a church?
A number of black New Yorkers as well. He is little more than a pudgy exhibitionist who can be counted on to show up, bullhorn in hand, at every racial incident.
I often quote Mark Twain saying, "The two most important moments in life is the moment you are born and the moment you find out why you were born." I had a very troubling conversation the other day that prompted me to do this little video. Young man that I've known a while came to me and he was crushed. I mean, really crushed, because people were criticizing his work. He's in the ministry, but he's also an actor. And he said he couldn't understand why people were jumping all over, criticizing him, trying to find scandalous and derogatory things about him. And I told him, I said, you know, you very young. You don't know the road I've traveled. They call me everything but a child of God.
A blabbermouth, a loudmouth, too flamboyant, an agitator, a racist,
I had to know.
Yeah, right.
I was not defined by how others saw me. I was defined by how I saw myself and whether I was being true to myself. Some of you watching this don't like me. And it doesn't matter as long as I know what I'm doing and I like me for being real. So I'm doing this video to say to you, whoever you are and whatever you do, you may not be in ministry or social justice, none of this stuff, but don't live your life worried about opposition or people that don't like you. You can turn that around. Use me as an example. The same people that call me a scam artist, a con artist, a sellout, or racial hustler and all, I kept going. And the people I respected started respecting and publicly embracing my work.
when Coretta Scott King, the widow of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., had this to say about Al Sharpton.
A leader who has protested injustice with a passionate, unrelenting commitment to nonviolent action in the spirit and tradition of Martin Luther King Jr. And I am talking about your leader, our leader, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
The other thing that hasn't changed is the National Action Network's commitment to fight injustice and inequality here in New York City and across America. And that's not only a testament to Reverend Sharpton, it's a testament to all of you who are here tonight.
First and foremost, to Reverend Sharpton. I saw him when he first came on the scene, and I have marveled at his tenacity, at the development of his intellect, and his devotion to our movement, and much he has contributed to the world we are experiencing. I am honored, and I must say that when I had my debate with Dr. King on the issue of the church and religion, he didn't warn me that after his departure, his space would be filled by another preacher, and that preacher would be Al Sharpton.
All you want in life is people that matter to you to say you did all right. And more important, that you can look in the mirror and say you did all right.
Thank you, Rev. Thanks for that introduction. Look, we've known each other for a long time. I'm grateful not only for your leadership and partnership, but quite frankly, more importantly, for your friendship. And thanks to all of you, members of our nation's most important civil rights organization.
You have been, over all of your years, such an extraordinary leader. You are a voice of truth, a voice of conscience, a voice of practicality around what we must address and what we can do. And I thank you so much for your friendship.
I remember that most of the youth around Al's age, he was about 12, wanted to be like Connie Hawkins, a great basketball player, legend, or Earl the Pearl, or Clyde Frazier. Al wanted to be like Adam Powell, a powerful preacher of the social justice gospel. He was very close to, at that time, the Reverend William Augustus.
Keeping it real, keeping it real.
Justice advocate, and Reverend
I am your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back 1-877-532-5797, or you can go to our message board on nationalactionnetwork.net live stream. I see Vivian Denise writes, watching from South Daytona, Florida. That's in the area where my father was from. My father was from Wabassa, Florida. Glad that you're watching. And then Tricia, 1989, says, if you're not a member of NAN, at least occasionally donate. Please support the civil rights organizations. And thank you for that, Tricia. You're right. A lot of people want to tell everybody what to do, but don't want to be a supporter to help them do it. And then have the nerve to criticize and do well enough or long enough when they didn't do anything to sustain those that are paying the price. Let's go to Reverend Marshall. Let's go back to the phone. Sweat in Detroit. Sweat. Sweet. They spelled it incorrectly. Sweet in Detroit.
Yes, yeah, Reverend. Thanks for taking my call. It's Sweet. The ladies gave me that name. But, you know, a lot of things, I don't agree with President Trump around here calling women Miss Piggy and all that, and the way he talks to that Attorney General in New York. I really don't agree with him on that. But what we need to do, and I'm satisfied that in my mind that we need to concentrate for at least for 6 months out of the year on the education advancement of black children in America, because we're clearly behind the ball, especially when it comes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We way behind and young black men, you know, we got to challenge them to do much better than what they're doing, because we look at the scores, we look at who's working on the jobs. When we go in the hospital, we see who the nurses are, who the doctors are, and how many we graduating every year. You know, we can't just keep sending them to school and not checking on them and not holding them accountable. we have to tell our kids, y'all got to do a little. Cause that's what they talk. See, they talk about our generation, and James Brown, you know, had 2 songs out about staying in school and all of that.
Right.
And this is what we gotta bring those kind of things back, because we lost it with the rap during the rap era and the hip hop era. We kind of lost that, but we got to get back to it.
No, I think,
And
sweet,
somehow,
I think that what you raised, thank you for your call. I think what you raise is important, because I know, Reverend Marshall, you know a lot of young people here in National Action Network. You know, in fact, my daughters. And I'll never forget that one of my daughters was at school in college, and she was saying that one of the friends of hers that was kind of from an inner urban area in the Midwest said, "You Al Sharpton's daughter?" She said, "Yeah." Says, "Well, I don't understand how you doing all right in your grades and how you enunciate your words and all. You know, I thought you'd be acting more black than that." And she said she was stunned by it. And I said that's been the misnomer. That's what Sweet is talking about. We let them act like blackness is equal to not being able to speak well and not being well read. That some street kind of thuggery is blackness. Now, yeah, blacks are in the street. We mastered doing that, but we mastered academics. We mastered space. We mastered government. So to define us as just some dope sellers and street profane talkers, not profound, profane, is what they allowed a lot of non-blacks make our culture seem like superfly, street life was what was blackness, and anything else more refined and more informed than that was that we were acting something else. And that is in itself racist.
I think to add insult to injury is that we have a culture of blacks who have exacerbated the conditions that our foreparents have went through their music and what they have done on the screen deliberately. You have used the comparison, the analogy of you can't go cut a record. I remember you in the fight with the N-word to say that we all used it, we shouldn't do it anymore. And they fought you on that.
Right.
Tooth and nail, publicly.
Right.
But again, you pointed out something that I thought was brilliant to say that you can't do that against nobody else, and you shouldn't. There is a penalty for speaking against any other community but ours, and we have somehow kept that going throughout the years, calling our women out their names and degrading our children and even our parents.
And calling our race out of his name.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I think it's an outrage of it is as bad as teaching somebody how to be harmful to themselves, self-inflicted wounds, to deal with self-inflicted mentality of degradation and say, "This is who I am."
Yep.
And that's not who we are. No matter how low we were brought down, we found a way to get up. Now we laying on the ground celebrating being down?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
That's not our history. Frank, my friend, my ace Boone Coon, my main man, he says it's the best side. You're keeping it real with Sharpton. Rev Marshall sitting with me today.
As always, Reverend Al, our pal. Happy holiday season to you and to your guests.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Happy holiday season to all of the Keep It Real family. We are one big family. You know, Reverend Al, I know you've seen it because it went viral. That video that came out. I'm going to excel. 2 quick things about this mother here in Chicago who got beat up by those basically pre-teens. They definitely pre-high schoolers with no mercy, and she's pregnant. You saw that video, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Disgusting.
Okay, I'm pretty sure over the vast majority of us saw it. I'm pretty sure your guests saw it. This hit home with my pet peeve. Now, like I said, you don't blame the queen for the failure of the kingdom. You blame the king.
Right.
Same thing with the captain and the ship, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, shout out to the brothers. I hope y'all are hearing what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing. This is a sneak snapshot preview of children that you don't protect yourself from losing in your relationship. A lot of our children have been taken away from us, and when they were just toddlers, because you didn't protect yourself. You can't blame her. The doors came right on front of the lip. This is how important that is, and it could get worse. Just like Pam said, it could be worse. They could have been armed. There's no doubt in my mind, Reverend Al, that knowing that they got to face pops when they go home, that has a large effect on the behavior of our children when they're out there in public. See how important it is to protect yourself, and the main way to protect yourself from a female that you're not married to is you got to understand, you got to stop impregnating these females out of wedlock.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. I want you to finish this after the break. Let's go take our break. We'll be right back. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Be right back.
Democratic presidential candidate, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Thank you. Tonight, I want to address my remarks in two parts. One, I'm honored to address the delegates here. Last Friday, I had the experience in Detroit of hearing President George Bush make a speech. And in the speech, he asked certain questions. I hope he's watching tonight. I would like to answer your questions, Mr. President. To our chairman, our delegates, and all that assembled, we're honored and glad to be here tonight. I'm glad to be joined by supporters and friends from around the country. I'm glad to be joined by my family, Kathy, Dominique, who will be 18, and Ashley. We are here 282 years after, right here in Boston, we fought to establish the freedoms of America. The first person to die in the Revolutionary War is buried not far from here, a black man from Barbados named Crispus Attucks. 40 years ago, in 1964, Fannie Lou Hamer and the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party stood at the Democratic Convention in Atlantic City, fighting to preserve voting rights for all Americans and all Democrats, regardless of race or gender. Hamer's stand inspired Dr. King's March in Selma, which brought about the Voting Rights Act of 1965. 20 years ago, Reverend Jesse Jackson stood at the Democratic National Convention in San Francisco, again appealing to preserve those freedoms. Tonight, we stand with those freedoms at risk and our security as citizens in question. I have come here tonight to say the only choice we have to preserve our freedom at this point in history is to elect John Kerry, the President of the United States. I stood with both John Kerry and John Edwards over 30 occasions in debates during the primary season. I narrated them. I watched them. I observed their deeds. I looked into their eyes. I am convinced that they are men who say what they mean and mean what they say. I am also convinced that at a time when a vicious spirit in the body politic of this country that attempts to undermine America's freedoms, our civil rights, our civil liberties, we must leave this city and go forth and organize this nation for victory for our party and John Kerry and John Edwards in November. But let me quickly say, this is not just about winning an election. It's about preserving the principles on which this very nation was founded. Look at the current view of our nation worldwide as a result of our unilateral foreign policy. We went from unprecedented international support and solidarity on September 12, 2001, to hostility and hatred as we stand here tonight. We can't survive in the world by ourselves. How did we squander this opportunity to unite the world for democracy and to commit to the global fight against hunger and disease? We did it with a going-alone foreign policy based on flawed intelligence. We were told that we were going to Iraq because there were weapons of mass destruction. We lost hundreds of soldiers. We spent $200 billion at a time we had record state deficits. And when it became clear that there were no weapons, they changed the premise for the war and said, no, we went because of other reasons. If I told you tonight to let's leave the Fleet Center, we're in danger. And when you get outside, you ask me, Reverend Al, what is the danger? And I say, it don't matter, we just needed some fresh air. I have misled you, and we were misled. We are also faced with the prospect of, in the next 4 years, that 2 or more Supreme Court justices' seats will become available. This year, we celebrated the anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education. This court has voted 5-4 on critical issues of women's rights and civil rights. It is frightening to think that the gains of civil and women's rights and those movements in the last century could be reversed if this administration is in the White House in these next 4 years. I suggest to you tonight that if George Bush had selected the court in '54, Clarence Thomas would have never got to law school. Keeping it real, keeping it real. I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, XL Friday. Reverend Stephen Marshall here at headquarters sitting in with me. Let's go back to Frank in Chicago. Go ahead, Frank.
Thank you, Reverend. Now, the west side of Chicago is that. Hey, brothers, do you see and understand the significance of protecting yourself from losing custody of your children in your relationships when you've done nothing wrong? You see the importance of it? You could have been witnessing the future of the behavior of your children as they come out. Even James Brown said, Papa don't take no mess. And you got some, don't get me wrong, you got some mamas out there that don't take no mess either, but there's not enough of them. And mamas can be sweet buffalo, especially when they have multiple babies, multiple daddies. See, them they kids, all right? And like in our family, my 2 youngest brothers, they were the sons of my stepfather. They could do anything they want to do. And they do anything they didn't want to do, like have respect for authority figures. And that spoiled and ruined them, okay? It really did. Okay, my brothers, you know what I'm saying? If we going to sit back and let them and not educate our up-and-coming lads and boys and our families, and our extended family too, our nephews, our second cousins, our grandsons, you know, we sitting back and making the same mistake that the older generation or what baby boomers made, when we was coming through in the 1960s, and we let it happen to them. They're going to look up and see they done lost everything because all she got to do is say she don't want to be married anymore. And you can't protect yourself in that situation. It take a little longer. So I'm going to do that on my New Year's. I always try to week out with that exhale right there. It is very important that you understand this. Main thing, the easiest one is the easiest one to protect yourself from losing custody to a female that you're not married to. Understand this. You got to stop impregnating females out of wedlock. The married woman, understand this. I'm going to say on that. Understand this. Anyone can have a legal document drawn up. I break it all down at the first of the year, but you got to do it before you say I do. And lastly, before I hop off Reverend Al, I mean, I call in, I did believe, man, our sister Lola, she does be brilliant like Pam. And y'all spoke on a few days about the way this disgusting Donald Trump name calls and disrespect people all on the radio, all on television, call them out their name. Well, it is bad that the media is shaking the knees or they being told don't push back. But what's equally bad, if you ask me, Reverend Al, the people that he's disrespecting, calling out their name, they let him get away with it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. We had one little tough little cookie of a mayor here named Mayor Lightfoot. Lord have mercy. They call themselves jumping down the mud, slinging her. She jumped down right there with her, and she run them all out the mud. Just totally shocked them. They was afraid to attack Lori Lightfoot from the mud, and she ran them all out. Called Governor Priscum a fat pig. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice. Someone need to tell him, send him to the guy. You got to send him to the guy. Have you looked at yourself lately? The strongest one I seen read right before I hop off was this one sister reporter, and he kept saying to her, "You're disgusting." She said, "No, I'm not disgusting. I ain't going to answer the question." "You're disgusting." "No, I'm not disgusting. I ain't going to answer the question." Every name that this man has called someone else, 99.9% of the time, fits him. Embarrass him on TV.
Oh yeah, it's self-projection. There's no doubt about it. I mean, a couple of months ago, he did a tweet on me, Reverend Al's the con man, and the reporter asked me, "Are you offended the President of the United States called you a con man?" I said, "He's attacked me before." I said, "But how could I get insulted when a 34 convicted felon calls me anything?"
There you go.
That's how you got to push back. This man's a
That's what I'm
convicted
talking
felon.
about.
Why are we talking about him having any credibility about talking about anything?
Someone just said to him, "You got a lot of nerve to call anybody out of their name. You got a lot of. Have you took a good look at yourself?
Right.
Technically, I mean, are you going to get fired because you defended yourself on TV from someone that I don't care if he is the president? Take a good look at yourself in the mirror, Mr. President, before you talk about anyone else. Now you're going to answer the question. Hey, thanks a lot, Reverend Al. Everyone have a great day now and a great holiday season. Once again, thank you, Reverend Al.
Always good to hear your voice. Let me say on our message page, I saw Long Bear saying Trump's genius is to help rich white men, so that's how he is using his so-called genius to work. I think he's answering who am I, who said that Trump was a genius. Then I saw one saying why is, I'm trying to see where why the South African president sounds so weak. He's talking about Ramaphosa, and it says, I'm trying to, it says why, I don't have the top of it, so I don't got the name, but why is the president of South Africa sounds so weak was the question, and I think that the answer is correct, that why is South Africa, okay, there it is, who am I? Why the South African president sounds so weak in his response to Trump's attack on his country. And then Lone Bear says Cyril, Lone Bear answers Cyril, Lone Bear 1 says Cyril, which is talking about Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the president of South Africa, is not an ignorant man as Trump, and knows ignorance doesn't solve problems. See, I think you got to remember, Trump has attacked South Africa, saying that they having genocide against whites, which is not true. He boycotted the G20 summit because he said whites were having genocide perpetrated. There was whites all at the G20 summit. Nobody saw that. There's been no documentation. He's gone after Nigeria, saying that they're persecuting Christians. When we find out, yeah, there is some gangs that's capturing people. They're doing Muslims, Christians, and everybody. Trump has a fixation on people of color. He doesn't talk about any of that. He doesn't talk about what Putin is doing in Ukraine. They want to negotiate that. But blacks killing whites in South Africa, which is not true, let's bring them in the country. Now he says he's going to bar all immigration. Is he going to bar immigrating more white South Africans? Somebody need to ask that question. Let's go to Fly in Detroit, Michigan. Fly, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Good afternoon, Reverend Al. How was your family fellowship day?
It was great.
Good. That's what I call it. I don't call it Thanksgiving because of the malfeasance that was done to the natives. Mm-hmm. But anyway, before I do my exhale, I want to remind your caller, Sweet, that Detroit Public Schools was on its way to what he speaks about, and he speaks about that quite often. But he has to remember the bigoted, racist Republican Party here in Michigan took over Detroit Public Schools back in '99 when a black superintendent, Eddie Green, had the Detroit Public Schools with a $90 million surplus, $45 million rainy day fund, and a bond rating over $1.5 billion would it be dollars. And Dr. Green was going to have all of the schools redone. There were going to be computers in the classroom and everything. And actually, Detroit Public Schools was on its way to becoming a model school district. But because black people had this money, they came in and looted. They took over the Detroit Public Schools and looted it and had control over DPS for almost 20 years. Okay? To put a stop to educating black people, especially in science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay, so so moving on from that, because I have a couple other exhales. I want your listening audience to ask themselves this question: how are you an immigrant on stolen land? Number one, and number two. Suppose these so-called third world countries that became third world because of the United States and Europe, suppose these third world countries put a ban on tourism from white Americans. How about that? Okay, and finally, I don't mean to step on your toes, Reverend Al, but I just wanted to make just two suggestions, if I may. Number one, when we get to about the end of the year, I would like for you to dedicate your radio show to where we call in and we can reflect our memories of keeping it real from day one. Because over the years, you've had some profound guests on your radio show. Some of them were co-hosts, some of them were substitute hosts, and many of them are no longer with us.
Right.
Okay, that's one thing. And finally, on your Politics Nation, I would love for you to have as a guest on your show, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, Reverend Cavanagh, that closes out.
Oh, yeah, Reverend Cavanagh, Bishop Cavanagh.
I would love for him to be on Politics Nation so the world can see the fire of this 97-year-old bishop. And if you do that, Reverend Al, I'll hold the mule.
I love it. Well, you ain't stepping on my toes. You gave me two good suggestions. I'm going to work on both of them. I like that. End of the year, people talk about people on this radio show, and we'll be 20 years next year. That's a great idea. And having Bishop Cavanagh on Politics Nation, I like that a lot. Thank you for your call, Fly. And I think it is important that we hear the people that are loyal to the show. Obviously, he's been listening, and obviously a lot of others have. Let's take a break. Be right back. It's Exhale Friday. Got another hour. You can get your call in, or you can put your message on the message board. Keeping it real. Sharpton. Be right back.
So good. That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. I am humbled and grateful to be here with you tonight. I love you too. I love you too. It seems like I've known Reverend Al Sharpton all my life. My mom was such a fan of his, and I've seen him through my life in LA at MCA Records. When I was there, he'd come through, you know, and get those people straight about our contracts and talk about that. And I haven't been honored a lot. Maybe this is my second time, and I'm 68 years old. And I've been in this business my entire life. I've never done what you would call a real job. But I am truly honored, and I'm thankful, and I love us. I love my black people. And I fight for us, and I want the women, the black women, to really know their worth. Know that they're queens. That's important to me. That's how my mother raised me. My mother was militant, I guess, when it wasn't trendy, yes. Because when I was a little girl, my mother and father would drive in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, do or die. And when she would see police officers handling black children or a black boy or a girl, she would have my father stop and say, she'd get out of the car and she'd say, "What's going on here? Wait a minute, what you doing?" All the time. So it's natural that I'm that way, because I'm so tired of seeing our black men beaten with handcuffs. They have handcuffs on. That's important to me. That's my fight. I want love in this world. We're living in some, I love you, I love you. I never knew love like this before. I can't sing because we just finished doing 3 shows back to back. And I flew in this morning, and because Reverend Al wanted me to sing home. There's no way I could sing home, but okay. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes us a tall grass bend interleaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall have a meaning. Sprinkling the sea makes it all clean. But thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. I love you with my life.
Stephanie Mills. Some of you forget where you come from and forget how you got there and act like you got there because you were qualified or that you had a good resume. But some of us had to pay a price for your resume to even be read. Some of us had to take nights in jails and licks upside the head or shut out of boardrooms like Byron so you could walk down red carpets and act like you got there by yourself. So I received this award with a special place in my heart and on my shelf because I'm getting it from a freedom fighter who never forgot where he came from and how he got there. Yes, we've come a long way. We've had now a black president and now a black vice president, but we still can get shot down and have to march to get a case in court. We still can get shut out of boardrooms. We're still doubly unemployed in a good economy. So we're gonna have to keep marching. And I thank not only my family, a mother that raised me by herself, but I thank that lady at the end of the march that knows she won't be on TV that night and knows her name will never be in the paper, but she believed in me enough to get at the end of the line and make me look good. Because Dr. King used to say, if you call a march and no one shows up, you just going for a walk. And I want to thank those that marched with me. 32 years ago, here in Los Angeles, we marched. And then many years later, with George Floyd and others, we're still marching. And I'm gonna keep marching, I'm gonna keep agitating, and I'm gonna keep going. Until we don't have to do it anymore. Eddie, known you a long time, Mariah, Chris and your kids. And I promise you this, the only thing that I really live for is I get up with this dream that every bigot, every racist, everyone in this country that hates will say, damn, he's up again. No justice! No justice! 62 years ago today, Martin marched in Washington. 62 years later, the dream is not dead.
I'm here because I must be here. Democracy is not there for the pig, and you have to fight for democracy. That's what it is. What Trump will erase, we will replace.
It's the dreamers in many cases have reversed and tried to turn it into a nightmare. We come to Wall Street rather than Washington this year to let them know you can try to turn back the clock, but you can't turn back time. We gonna keep the dream alive on Wall Street.
It's been a long time coming, but I know.
1968, Dr. Martin King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And it has been the commitment of Nash Action Network to always, in the month he was killed, to let them know they killed the dreamer.
I have a dream today.
They can't kill the dreamer. Sharpton. Put it up. I don't remember name.
You lied, sir.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real. I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. It's XL Friday, 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. And Lone Bear One is saying on our message board, it's up to black leaders to work with Trump on those policies that benefit we blacks. But then he was answered by another message coming from Lone Bear One, said the only issue I have is how do you work with Trump if he doesn't care anything about anyone else's concerns? You know, and I think that is the problem. It is not that black leaders wouldn't work with Trump. The problem is work with him on what? And once you go and meet with him, Trump called me the first time he was elected, invited me to Mar-a-Lago. I told him I was not doing the photo op. And he's called me since then. I called him during the pandemic. To go and meet with Trump and he do the photo op and he commits to nothing is not what you do. And it's not in your interest. And it's not in the interest of the people that you're trying to speak on behalf of. I don't need a photo with Trump. I done been in and out of the White House the last 5 presidents. I need Trump to deal with a fair criminal justice system, not going after people like Tish James and James Comey because they are against you. He has been against the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. He want to meet on that? I'll meet. He has been against the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. He want to meet on that? I'll meet. He has been against the Affordable Care Act, trying now to change it. He want to meet on that? I'll meet. I think that we get more caught up on the optics of a meeting rather than what is the agenda. You going to meet with me and say, Al and I go way back, we don't agree on a lot, but let's meet. But what's the agenda? If you're against protecting our voting rights, if you're against the criminal justice system being held accountable, as in the George Floyd bill, if you're against affordable health care that gave almost 30 million Americans health care, then what are we going to meet about? What are we going to take a picture about? Now, some will say, Reverend Al, well, the mayor-elect Zoran Mandani met. Well, he's the mayor. He has a responsibility to meet and try to get the federal government to not cut off the federal funds in the city. I got that. But I'm an activist. If there's an agenda there that fits that, fine. If it doesn't, then what are we talking about? Let's go to Deshaun in Washington, D.C. Deshaun?
Yes, hello. I agree with that other caller. The bastard baby-making culture is actually what's destroying Black America. I think the worse than that is actually more serious than voting. You're only going to vote once a year, but you're going to have bastard kids 365 days.
So how do you propose we deal with that?
Okay, calm down.
I just asked you a question. I thought I was very calm. I said, how do you suggest we deal with that?
I'm getting ready to tell. I'm going to tell you. You stop dealing with black women. First of all. Second of all,
wait a minute. So you're saying to stop having bastard kids is to stop dealing with black women? Well, how are you gonna have kids?
13% of black men are responsible for 80% of the kids. That means that black women are having kids with the same no good dudes over and over and over again. And it's time that we start calling out these behaviors. They give them these ghetto-sounding names, Quantavious. You got 8 people living in a house with 9 different last names. That's dysfunction. We're the most dysfunctional group of people in the history of world civilization.
Yeah, but again, I don't know where you get your data from, but you're not answering why. Then you're saying don't deal with black women. What do you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Black women are evil and demonic, and you all talk about these missing children. They were sent to the upper room by their mama, and their mamas are selling these kids for weaves, lashes,
All
and
right, so
bundles.
you've
And
got
everybody
you've got data that I don't know. Now you got black women sending people to
black
their
black blackdemographic.com.
blackdemographic.com is a credible source. How come nobody else has this data? And black women sending their babies up to the room. I mean, I think first of all, you're black, I assume, right, Deshaun?
What difference does that make?
I just asked you a question. I didn't say it made a
Yeah,
difference. All right. So I assume, came here through a black mother. Your black mother wasn't wicked and all the names you just called black women, was she?
not to my knowledge. But I'm not trying to. I don't have a mother fetish like some of you all have.
I didn't say about a mother fetish. I asked you a question. You made a general denunciation of all black women, and all I asked you, as calmly and respectfully as I can, are you not a product of a black woman? So
they're evil and demonic. Everybody.
But your mother was a black woman. Your mama, was she evil and demonic?
Why else would they be on Clubhouse talking to KKK?
Was your mother evil and demonic? Was your mama evil and demonic? Was your mama evil and demonic?
I'm talking about Gen X and younger. These women are evil. They're demonic. Everybody knows it. It's probably those chemicals they put in their hair. They wouldn't be on Clubhouse.
Well, they had chemicals in hair when your mama had you. They had it before your mom. That wouldn't explain that.
I don't fetishize my mama like some of you all do, but I know that black women are evil. That's why SYSBM is so big. The manosphere is so big, and it's only beginning. And these young Gen Z dudes, they rather wait for GTA 6 and to be with a black woman. And I think that that's going to help balance everything out. Because 100 years from now, it's going to be two classes of black people. The bastard baby ghetto culture and black men, college degree, who married, maybe married out, are going to be successful.
So you think that it part of the success is black men that maybe just don't marry black women, go marry somebody else?
Oh, absolutely. Why would a successful black man want to raise Keisha's bastard kids?
Well, suppose if Keisha doesn't have any, and suppose those kids, I can tell you bastard kids that turned around this country and made it better, that discovered things in science, that led in government. I know some bastard kids that did better than kids that had two parents at home.
Absolutely. But we all saw the video of those feral kids who attacked that pregnant lady, and the mothers were all talking about gang banging.
And we also seen kids that came out of homes that were white, that come out of the trailer park and did the same thing. We don't say that all white women are demonic.
Yeah, but the numbers don't back that up.
And the numbers that you're citing doesn't back that. Are you saying that the numbers are not there about white crime? You're saying that white crime is not more than black crime?
I'm saying that these feral children that's being raised by these single mothers are destroying black America.
But I know many black men raised by single mothers that helped to save America. I was raised by a black woman. I ain't got no babies with no black woman out of wedlock. So I mean that you can't make that for everybody. And you have whites. You got a vice president of the United States right now, J.D. Vance, that wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy that talked about how it was in Appalachia and the whole brutal kind of culture they had. And he's vice president of the United States. So, I mean, what are we talking about? You can't generalize like that. Hello?
And we're not going to fix it. You should just ignore, just move on and just come to a realization that it's too dysfunctional to be saved. What is it? How is it that black women are queens, but they have the most abortions and the most out of wedlock births?
Well, I mean, a lot of that data. But thank you, Deshaun. Thank you for your call, and thank you for this time picking up. You call sometimes, don't pick up, but we talk. Because I want people to hear some of what is being sold around the dial. First of all, our families have been broken up since slavery. By law, we was broken up. It was against the law for us to have families. So we inherited, we are not but about 3 or 4 generations away from that. Now, does that make excuse for conduct? No. But it certainly shows the madness that a lot of us have. And I would say, and I'm not being personal with him, but I would say self-hate that's pending. We blame ourselves. For a black man born of a black woman to talk about all black women or this, that, or the other is a malady. And to make, up some numbers that some site may say is not right. But what about black women, like my mother, that did struggle single, father abandoned her, and raised me and my daughter to be something? What about them? I bet you there's more of them than what you're talking about. Why are we going to condemn black women in whole, but act like everybody else's women are fine? You've got irresponsibility and bad behavior in all women, of all races. And I think to selectively do that when you black yourself makes one wonder, is the problem deeper in you than what you're raising? Secondly, to say we only vote once a year, but we need to stop all these, that we sending kids upstairs to the room, that's a simplification. And I know a lot of y'all on the message board saying cut them off. But I want y'all to hear what some people are thinking out here and what we got to deal with. And I think I like what Democracy.Fund is saying. They need therapy. I think you're absolutely right. Trauma therapy, because they're talking about my mother. I think that we need to really deal with this. Wedlock birth data is Bruce Turner says wedlock birth data is a MAGA talking point, and it absolutely is. Do y'all realize that they're getting ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the country next year, and that for most of those 250 years, it was against the law for us to have wedlock? Let's talk about that. They made it against the law. I ain't talking about custom. I'm not talking about culture. It was against the law for us to marry until 1863. So let's tell the whole story and let America put that out there and let us deal with that. But I really thank Deshaun for his call, because a lot of y'all think people like that don't have those opinions. They do. We should hear them, not ignore them, because they are around our community. Let's take a break. Be right back. Keep it real. Sharpton. Be right back.
Hey, Rev.
Yeah. Oh, do I seem excited? I am excited, because this Saturday, the National Action Network Saturday Action Rally starts live on WBLS 107.5 FM in New York. We're going to expand. Every Saturday morning, we're live on WBLS 107.5 from 10 a.m. to 11. You'll hear the message. You'll feel the energy. You'll be involved. You won't be sitting around talking about, oh my God, look at what's happening. You'll be involved in dealing with what's happening. I'm excited, and you should be excited too. Turn on WBLS 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. I have a message for you. And if you want to, you can come to the House of Justice and be there live. 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. We kick off at 9, and we don't stop until we deal with getting our people energized.
So it's become almost an unhealthy habit how much I'm listening to Keep It Real, because it is the realest thing on the air anywhere, whether it be online or whether it be on the radio or wherever it's coming into you from, because there's no one of Rev's importance and caliber, who is as dominant a media figure as he is, who allows people to speak at length, and who he treats with equal respect and admiration with every call, whether he agrees with you or not. And I'm not gonna throw shade at anybody, but there are a lot of people with big platforms like the Rev has who are afraid to talk to the people and who are afraid that the people will keep it real with them. And he never shies away from anything any of us want to talk to him about. And he doesn't shut you up. It's not a soundbite, it's a conversation. So I would like people in media to learn from this man who is carrying MLK's torch. Don't be afraid of people. Listen to them, respect them, and stand in God and stand in truth. Thank you, Nan. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, everybody who puts this together and sends it out across the world, because we need much more of it. Bless you.
So we just wanted to greet you all and thank you for allowing us in. Yes, sir. We was here.
They were on the plantation.
Our family was on the plantation. Wow. And that's, of course, that's the slave house. That's one of the slave houses.
Sir, it's been 13 years.
That's right.
Good to
How
see
you been?
Doing fine. Good.
Last time. And we,
Alexander Sharpton. How many slaves were staying there?
I have no idea.
This is where they would have the slavery.
Yeah, that's when exactly. That was exactly.
The two people that most influenced my life were from South Carolina, James and Jesse. Jesse right up the road from me. I went for his mother's funeral. Jesse walked me to my mother's casket.
Wow.
To South Carolina. That's the balance of my life, James and Jesse.
Yeah.
Civil rights, shoulders.
But also where your people come too.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And when I knew Jesse was from James, I started president.
Yeah.
And James had died before I knew about it in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James died December 25th. He died Christmas Day, 06. And they came to do the story for February of 07. They came to me in January. His daughter swear that was his daddy and having pushed the information out.
Wow.
And I called Jesse and told him, do you know that my great-grandfather was a slave about 45, because Greenville right up to I-20. He said, I told you we was connected. That's why you gotta listen to me. But
Hello, New Orleans.
straight. They did not think we could come and be here tonight. They cut budgets and advertising, but one black man, Rich Newton, said, I don't care. My families come together every 4th of July weekend, and Essence will happen, because that's who we are. Give a big hand to Rich New Dennis for bringing us back. Why do we come? Because the essence of who we are is essential to what made this nation. We built this nation. We made this nation. We created the essential dollars that this nation lives off of. We don't care what bill they pass. We will not back up. We will not back down. We will not give in. We will not be chased out. We don't care who's in the White House. We will organize our house by house. We came over the Middle Passage. We survived slavery. We survived Jim Crow. Don't you give up now. Don't you turn back now. Stand up, black man. Stand up, black woman. Reclaim your dignity. Reclaim your place. So we stand with the Global Black Economic Forum. We stand with Essence Magazine because that's who we are. So don't give in now. Yes, there's some rough days, but we've been through rougher days than this. Yes, Trump is a bad dude, but we beat badder dudes than Trump. So let's party with a purpose, because our rhythm and our music reminds us who we are. Because we can smile through our pain and organize for our gain. Let's stand up and let's celebrate who we are. Thank you, God bless you.
Keeping it real. I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, and we're back. Exhale Friday. Reverend Marshall's been sitting in with me. I don't know if Reverend Williams coming in.
I haven't seen him yet.
All right, we've not heard him calling. Stick with me a little while longer, Reverend Marshall. When you hear Reverend Marshall, the last caller, it's obviously a lot of us, if not most of us, dismiss it for various reasons. But we need to understand there's an element out here that MAGA and others have convinced. And then there's a lot of pain out here. When I hear the caller call like that, Deshaun, I wondered, is it somebody heard him and he expands it to all black women? Where the trauma comes from, as Democracy.Fund says, or what is cause of that, and just screaming back at somebody that may be screaming some things we disagree with is not the answer, because there's somebody out there in Radio Land that has the same opinion that this guy has. And like Jay here, a young lady that does our engineering, she's in, how old are you, 20? 19. She'll be 20. She ain't never heard nothing like that. Her earplugs almost went on fire. Because she ain't never heard it. But 19-year-olds need to understand there are people out there think like that. And that's why we do what we do, Reverend Marshall.
I think you hit it on the head, trauma. And a lot of we've often talked, myself and you directly, on how childhood trauma produces adult drama. And that's exactly what Deshaun, I believe, professed. You talked about, I mean, I think you tripped him up when he talked about he comes from a black woman. And his answer was, I'm not caught up on, mothers like most of
Fetish,
you. Right, fetish on mamas like most
Right.
of you, which is a telltale sign. I mean, in our communities, I grew up in a two-parent home, but I was a mama's boy, and our mothers are the sheroes and sometimes the heroes that make things happen. So for him to profess that, obviously there is some underlying,
Well, I grew up at two-parent homes. I was 10, then my mother had to take it when my father left. I don't say all black men are wrong because of what my father did, which was wrong. And if it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't have been anything. And that's a single black woman. I mean, nothing. My mother didn't abandon me. She could have said after what my father did, she could have put us up for adoption. She could have done a number of things. She scrubbed floors to make sure that I could have a clean clothes to go to school and preach on Sundays because I was a boy preacher. So black women, in all my years, decades in dealing with civil rights and politics, I didn't meet a black person stronger, more informed, and more able than Shirley Chisholm. I was her youth director.
Absolutely.
So you can't tell me that about black women.
Yep. I grew up in Brooklyn like you, and all my teachers were predominantly black women. All of them were highly educated. A lot of them were single mothers, but led us into a higher education. So most of us that I grew up with turned out to be all right. So we pray for Deshaun, but that is definitely not the representation of our experience with black women.
Let's go to Rick in Germany. Rick, you're keeping it real with Al Sharpton. Rick?
Good day, Brother Sharpton.
Good day.
First of all, I'd like to ask, after one of your callers talked about guests you've had on, have you heard from Brother Charles Ellison?
I've not heard from him. I've inquired about him, and I've not heard from him. I know he had a illness a year or so back. I've not gotten any updates, no.
Okay, well, I'm sending best wishes and thoughts and prayers to him and his family. As to the comments about black women, the struggle of black women and black educated women, black gay women, black military women is the struggle for survival there in America. My grandmother, Catherine Flowers Reed, hurt me by abandoning my mother because she had me as a baby born of rape in the military. But I don't put that hurt on all black women. If you find a black woman, an educated black woman, a healthy black woman, as a black man of some health and education, you have found a good thing. You have found a treasure. That's all I'll say about that. My comments were focused on Congo today. Congo is in need of black scientists and engineers, mathematicians, people to build schools, and people to turn that Congo River into a hydroelectric power system for the two Congos there in Africa. And Congo has split into the Republic of Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo. But that river could supply power to both nations. And we are in desperate need of the sciences. So I would say to your listening audience, history is important. Malcolm X said that history is critical to our advancement. But I say science is also critical. Without science, we are not going to advance there in America, and we're not going to heal Africa. Brother man, I'm done.
All right, thank you for your call. And I agree with you, definitely. Let me get ready to go to the break. James Thomas writes, as a kid, I seen my mother and father fight and call her names, but that never stopped me from loving my black mother and black women. Thank you for that, James. I'm with you on that. Let's take a break. Keeping it real. Exhale Friday, Sharpton. Be right back.
I've been traveling around the country talking to the radio announcers, the church people and the street people, telling them that God has smiled on me. God has smiled on you if you got breath in your body. If he woke you up this morning and started you on your way. But I want to tell you some stories of people that God smiled on. We know the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, how he started way back in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, trying just to get dignity, trying to get respect. And he went all the way to the mountaintop. But he didn't forget about the brothers in the valley. He didn't forget about those trapped in the alley. And I hear Brother Martin King say, God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. Let me tell you, God has smiled on me. It's been so good to me. Then I see as Dr. King went on, another man stepped into the forefront by the name of John F. Kennedy, who rose up and said, let's not stand back. Let's not wait for a handout. Let's wait for a way out. He said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. He said, don't us gravel and don't us moan, because God done smile on us. Let me say it. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Let me say it. Yeah. One more time. I want to say real slow. I'll say God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Get up. God has smiled on me. Yeah. I get up. Then I went on by backstage at the Apollo Theater and I saw a man come out. They call him the King of Soul, James Brown. And James Brown said, Reverend, don't you worry. I started out as a shoe shine boy. I started out as a convict. I started out uneducated. But I learned to sing my song. And I sung it all over the world. I told him it was a man's world. I told him about the big payback. I told him Papa got a brand new bag. And all over the world, they can hear my voice. But Reverend, don't you frown. Don't you bow your head. Tell him what you told me, Brother Brown. I said, now God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Yeah. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. It's been so good to me. Then I went home and I told my mother what Brown told me. And she said, son, even though we don't have much, we don't need relief. All we need is belief. And she said, he didn't tell you no lie, because the Lord will take care of you. God sits high, but he looks down low. And every time you get discouraged, every time you're burdened down, down. All you have to do is think of the things that God made a way for you and look toward the heavens. Lift your eyes to the hills and say, God, 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 don't smile on me. Now then the God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. That has been so good to me. Yes, he has. I said, God, smile on me. He has set me free. And I know all over the country, smile on me. We need jobs. We need a way to make it. We need help. We need jobs. We need a way to make some money to feed our families and raise our bread. We need a way to survive, so we don't need crime as a survival kit. We just need a little bit. But don't give the hope up. Don't lose the faith, because God will smile on you. God will give you the strength. God will make a way for you. Adam Clayton Powell said, keep the faith. Keep the faith, baby. I hear Robert Kennedy saying that it's not the dream of, but it's the dream that'll live on forever. Just know that God will smile on you. Dr. King had a dream. Dr. King said, I went to the mountaintop, but I didn't stop there. I looked over and saw the promised land. I hear Brother Malcolm saying, don't sit on the stoop. Stand up and be a man. Respect yourself. Be somebody. Then I hear the brothers in the Hispanic community say, I'm going to stand up and be a man. I'm going to do the best I can. I had a reaper say, I don't care what time you come home, but just give me some respect when you get there. Lord, now God has smiled on me. He has set me free. God smiled on me. You've been so good to me. Sit down. And as we move on in history, let us remember that if we look to God, God has an answer to all of our problems. God is still the same God he was years ago, and we can still make it. We can still hold on like Frederick Douglass did. We can still keep him on like Martin Luther King did. We can still ride on the way everyone that made it did. They didn't have much, but they had a whole lot of faith. They didn't have money, but they had a lot of determination. We know that God will look out for his children, that God will make a way out of no way. If you just keep the faith and refuse to lose, that God will make a way. Because God's
Keeping it real, keeping it
God's
real.
children just have will.
I am your host, Reverend Al Sharpton. Don't forget Politics Nation, both tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be live both nights, and a lot of you have guests, family, friends there. Make them understand this is the show that I try to bring you the best and the brightest and the people in the room where decisions are made that affect all of our lives. Over this weekend, I'm going to have on Congressman Jim Clyburn to talk about what is really going on in the Congress with this deadline on the health care, Affordable Health Care Act, and where Trump is trying to go and where they can block it, if they can block it. I'm going to have Jim Clyburn on. I'm going to have Congressman Eric Swalwell on this weekend, who's suing Trump over the mortgage fraud allegations. And Swalwell's running for governor. I'm going to have Congresswoman Robin Kelly from Chicago talking about what's going on in the Congress. I don't have any number. I'm going to get the Attorney General of the state of Washington, talk about the lawsuits all the state attorney generals have on this redistricting. And I'm also going to have on, I told you about this movie that is in AMC Theater starting tomorrow on the Sean Bell killing. I'm going to have the young lady who was marrying Sean Bell the next day. The film is about her. The movie is about her, Sean Bell's fiance, Nicole Bell, will be on. And the great actor Richard Lawson, who played me in the movie. I'm going to have both of them on with me. I believe they're on tomorrow. So make sure you watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton, both tomorrow, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You that are in the tri-state area, meet me in the morning. We are going to have a very serious rally in the morning. Saturday Action Rally is going to be jammed. We're going to be dealing with, now that Thanksgiving is over, where do we go from here to end the year? How we going to do our plan around our buying shares, our economic, because I don't believe in economic stuff, just calling things and then saying, here's the goal, here's how we gauge whether we win or lose. We're going to deal with all that tomorrow at the Saturday Action Rally at the House of Justice of National Action Network, 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. You that are not in the New York area, you can watch it live on Impact Television or at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. All right, let's go back to the phones, Rev Marshall. Let's go to Wale in New York City. Wale.
How are you, Rev?
I'm doing good.
That's good, good. You know, I hope a whole lot of brothers call Keeping It Real. Let us know how you feel. I was just reading on Facebook, this young black guy, he looked like a nerd type. And they say he calling chicks, he go through Facebook, digging up, what they call that? Them calling, trying to hook up a date. He get with the girls, then he take them to a secluded spot and kill them. He got a face like Urkel. You would think he wouldn't hurt a fly. And he's a black guy. And he's killing all these girls. One girl survived, and she was able to alert him to him, et cetera, et cetera. So what's my point? You know, Rev, in the 70s, we had adolescent clinics. You probably remember, Rev.
I do.
There was adolescent clinics where when you were 16, your parents would take you to the clinic that first visit, right? That first visit. The second visit, you came by yourself.
Right.
And that's when they had a table full of birth control. They showed you everything from the pill, the IUD, the Carpet 7, you name it. They didn't do it while the parents was there. The second visit, that's when Planned Parenthood was really popular. So what did we do in the 70s? When we got pregnant from a nut, we got rid of the baby. Or we used condoms, Carpet 7s, et cetera, et cetera. We protected ourselves more because that clinic was made available to us. That's our generation. This generation, I have friends, male friends, that tell me, oh, my God, up here in the Bronx, these Caribbean chicks with the pink and purple hair, and he talks so negative about black women because of how they look. So we had our generation of adolescence clinic and birth control. This generation is have a baby every time you get pregnant, and your hair is 1,000 colors, etc. So if we don't start talking about it, we're not going to be here. So as a black woman, because the guy never said whether he was black or white, right? But if assuming he's black, keep calling. We want you to keep calling. Let it out, like Reverend Sharpton said.
Yeah, let it out, let it out, let it out.
Let it out.
All right,
Yeah,
Wale,
yeah,
thank
man.
you for your call. And always good. Yeah, no, I want people to, hey, you got people, whether you know it or not, or whether you want to admit it or not, at your house for Thanksgiving weekend that feel the same way Deshaun does. And we need to deal with it because they're being traumatized, misguided, whatever you want to say, needs our correction. And that is very, very serious. Let me go to Cleveland, Ohio, to the irreplaceable, invincible president and chair of the president and CEO of the Greater Cleveland chapter of National Action Network, Dr. Marcia McCoy. Dr. McCoy.
Our Honorable Reverend Dr. Professor Al-Sharpton, thank you for your continuous years of service on Thanksgiving Day. We saw you giving away grocery bags and turkey, and you were generous, and you had a face of kindness, not pity. And that just made me, I was just glad to be a part of NAN again. The Greater Cleveland chapter of NAN is continuing our Us Being About Us movement. With these gerrymandered maps, we had to take action in our own community. To be a part of the political decision-making change we want to see, we had to continue in our own community at the level of being elected as a county central committee member to represent the area we live in. So those listening who live in Cleveland, get involved and call us. I picked up 75 petitions. I have 24 left because it's a must that we be at the table and alert our communities and our precincts where we live what's going on and to be a part of that as an elected individual. So call us at 216-374-0913, 216-374-0913, 216-374-0913, and become a change agent. Come on, Dr. Bishop.
All right.
Dr. Sharpton.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Charles Williams, I need you to hold my mule, my brother.
He not with us. I'm going to have Reverend Marshall hold it this week. Go ahead.
Thank you. My brothers and my sisters, there is a powerful word found in the Bible book of Deuteronomy 30:19 that says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursing. Therefore, choose life, and both thou and thy seed may live. This is tantamount to declaring that choice and decision, life or death, determine destiny. You and I have the choice of life or death. Blessings are curses. Blessings are good choices. Curses are bad choices. Blessings are of heaven, and curses are of hell and damnation. The current convicted felon occupying the Oval Office, Donald J. Trump, comes down on the side of curses in every decision. He decides to impose tariffs that ultimately raise prices on food items that cause people to not only be able to eat and feed their families, curses. He decided to give some $40 billion to an Argentina dictator, his friend, while deciding to deny hungry children in America and around the world food to live, curses. He spends 10 years with a convicted pedophile, a sex trafficker, raping and molesting young girls 14 years of age, curses. 35,000 lies and falsehoods have emanated from his potty, foul mouth, curses. He is a two-faced backstabber, saying one thing to your face and a whole nother nasty thing behind your back, curses. He pledged his sole allegiance to his narcissistic self and his billionaire friend, and gives less than a continental scintilla to poor and needy people, curses. Convicted felon Donald Trump loves ignorance and vows to do away with the Constitutional Department of Education, curses. He prefers building golden ballrooms to entertain the rich while the homeless go without shelter, curses. Probably the most heart-wrenching, callous, hideous, egregious curse of all is his cutting all U.S. aid to Africa, aimed at combating diseases such as HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, and polio, reducing maternal and child death, and fighting malnutrition. That cut has already caused the death of more than 600,000 people, 2/3 of them children. Curses. This white supremacy annihilated diversity, equity, and inclusion for black folks in America, and is determined to inflict harm to people of color all over the globe. His lack of compassion falls on the poor and the disinherited of all ethnicities. Curses. He loves money, gold ballrooms, himself, multimillionaires and billionaires. Cursed be you. It appears that in every moral and spiritual decision, this wannabe dictator, this bigoted, racist, white supremacist, comes down on the side of curses that puts not only democracy in jeopardy, but such, with his diabolical hand on the nuclear button, puts the world on the precipice of destruction. Curses. Decision determine destiny. And this demon-possessed racist appears to be on his way down. No recent president's numbers have fallen so low and as fast as this president. In all phases, this desperate numbers have gone down. The state of Oklahoma is the worst, having gone down from 27% to 7%. It's only a matter of time. His polling numbers for disapproval are at 64%. Hard to believe, but the writing is on the wall. His days are numbered, and the day of his departure is at hand. Thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you, Bishop. As always, you close the week with profundity and prophetic words from the Bishop E.T. Cavanis in Cleveland, Ohio, Great Abyssinian Baptist Church, chairman of the National Action Network chapter there. Let me thank Reverend Stephen Marshall sat in with me today. Let me thank all of you that called in, listened in, you that called in and couldn't get through, but hung in there anyhow. Remember, whatever you do, wherever you go, however you feel, tell somebody, tell anybody, tell everybody. Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Whatever you do,